Hey guys, welcome back to the table. You are listening to Finding a Toria, a podcast that some group of friends that get a little bit crazy and out of control run and talk about all things TTRPG.
That's us.
That's us.
We do it every week.
We do. And at the table today, I have Malcolm.
I'm here.
And Jess.
Hello.
And Tori.
What up?
And myself, Arcadia. So we are really excited to have you with us today. And Malcolm.
Oh, yeah.
I believe you were talking about some interesting news that people might want to hear that are in the community with TTRPGs. What have we got? What's going on in the world?
A few things that kind of caught my eye when I was out perusing the internet, and kind of, I guess, have some tie into our community in the TTRPG world. But first of all, the one that I thought was pretty neat is that Glass Cannon Unplugged is taking a shot at doing a Diablo TTRPG. Right now is on Kickstarter. And one of the cool things that they're kind of touting is that they're remedying a problem for us gamers who do not like squishy first level intro characters that can die from slipping in fish guts.
Your DM telling you that you can start at level whatever and play the game? I mean, that fixes that real easy.
So I don't know that you start at a certain level differently, but I think that what they're doing is giving you skill abilities that are already beefed up somehow to start the game with, so you are not as fragile. And they're
Not
working
squishy.
on some one-shots for it, but I think that the game is sort of set up to be more you versus mass amounts of foes.
So you're saying Diablo, this is a TTRPG that they're doing?
This is what they're trying to adapt the video game to a TTRPG.
So I think that's really interesting because it's
that's
backwards of how it usually goes.
That's a hack and slash,
right?
like bloodbath. For real. Like it is everybody has to die.
So, okay, that they are removing level. You start at, in essence, level 20 characters?
I don't know that you start in essence at level 20, but what they're making sure of is that your initial foray into the game does not leave you, as they put it, you're hampered by being first level and squishy. They want you to be... And I think the appeal of the game is the mass damage. You know, if they're mirroring the video game at all, which I don't know an entire bunch about, but it's a lot of you versus the hordes of in these vast armies coming, and your ability to work within the confines of killing a whole bunch of shit quickly. I believe it's correct. Yes?
Yes, and can't do that at level 1?
Typically, no.
Well, no, and if you go back to the heady days of the first edition of Dungeons and Dragons, it was and I know we've said this on this program before, there was a lot of running from shit and evading shit.
Run away is a valid option. It has always been a valid option. It comes with its own
And you weren't
moments,
walking out of your first village in like a full plate mail armor set with a great sword. And
Nope.
No, you were like, need money for bread, found flyer on wall, will go kill shit.
Yes.
May I borrow pitchfork?
Followed by run away.
Yep.
The most noble of traditions of the adventure. I would like to go up the tree. It can climb. I would like to run.
Yes.
It can run faster. I would like to hide.
It
Because
can-
everything, you are squishy and everything will kill you.
run away.
So Diablo is taking a shot at saying, no, you land not at that point in your story. You land after having
You will not run.
You will
Face your foes.
And it's kind of neat. It's going to be one to follow. It was such a massive and is a massive video game IP that I love that Glass Cannon Unplugged is taking a shot at it. There is Kickstarter out there. There's lots of cool stuff. They are promising multiple one-shots with their release. I don't think that I've backed anything on Kickstarter in a long time, but it's worth going out there and taking a look at. And I like the idea that, like Arcadia was blending to, this is video games coming to a tabletop RPG, which I think you're going to see more and more of, whereas before it kind of flowed differently. Coming back around again. So that was one of the stories. What do you guys think about that? Interest in a start out a little bit beefier Diablo TTRPG?
I'm kind of interested to see how it ends up working out. Like I'm hesitant to like immediately jump in and it's like, okay, as soon as it's released, I'm going to get it. It's more of I want to see how, like, do they still have some kind of like level progression? Do you get better over time, or are you basically starting at level 20? Because if you're just jumping in at level 20, then that seems a little overwhelming to me.
And I don't think there is. I think that there are abilities to gain and maybe trade skills and develop your character. 8. I just think that what they are saying is that you are not going to be hampered by the initial squishiness that comes with the first level character versus almost any fantasy world.
I'm going to the idea of video games. I'm trying to find a matchup, and I think, okay, I'm going to really age myself because I'm going to go back to our video games. But, like say Mario or something like that, it's like, it's not that Mario gets all that much better, like as you go through the levels, it's just like your skills and your ability to use your skills gets better to keep moving forward and get through harder and harder levels, I mean, like, so I'm like, is it like that,
Well, so GamesRadar.com had an article on it, and they came out with a quote, and what they're saying from Glass Cannon Unplugged is that they're going to bypass that early, I need to go get good stuff. I need to be able to.
I'm a wizard and I have 4 hit points.
Right. I need to chew bubblegum and walk for a while. I've got to go. So they're saying that they're going to bypass that and make sure that you are, quote, fully equipped as a seasoned hero from the start of the game.
8.
So I don't know that translates into, hey, here's a level 20 badass and 8. You could just go wreck shit. But you're going to be competent. You're not going to be a super squishy.
8.
Okay, so yeah, it's like
8 is a beefy.
Well, level 8.
8's beefy. 8's beefy. 4 you can go out into the world confident in. 8 is beefy.
You've got
And if the whole point is you versus many, then you kind of need that.
Right.
So it's just a different setup. If it's you versus, I've been playing World of Warcraft since it came out in 2004. And my experience with the first set of levels is that that's basically the tutorial.
Right.
Yep. Sure. If you die in your first level,
you've done something very wrong.
You have to be trying to die. Right, or like you get yourself into combat and then your mom calls you to go unload the dishwasher or something. You come back and you're dead. Like something like that, maybe. Like if you have to be trying or just completely, start the combat and then walk away to die at that level, and then you'd only start really getting into the more dangerous shit when you're, slightly higher level, because it's.
And am I right?
You're learning to play. That's a tutorial.
You only really have access to the cool shit after that. You're not getting amazing stuff during the tutorial.
Oh, no, no. You're like, you don't have good armor.
And that's kind of what they're saying.
You have the really shitty armor.
And we're going to go ahead and start you after that, at least from skills, abilities, and equipment sort of thing. I don't know. I would probably go out and spend a little time with it online, look at the Kickstarter, but we often lament first and second level characters here. And if you don't start at 3, don't invite me.
No.
I do wonder, like, how, granted, I've only played one character so far at level 1. So like, how big of a problem is like slipping in fish guts and dying at level 1?
Was it Chuck who did that?
No, it was Mel.
It was Mel.
Like, with no name.
Yeah, it was Mel with no name.
Because this sounds like if somebody dies that quick, either they made some really stupid decisions, or maybe is it not balanced appropriately for, like, are they in like a level 5 adventure, a level 1? Like, what's the problem here? Like, why did they
really bad rolls?
Really bad rolls, and you just can't survive really bad rolls at a low level. So you could have that day where you slipped in fish guts, and it was the last thing you
hit your head,
and it's over.
Like,
all right, I guess
super squishy,
right?
And to be fair, I think that at our table, I don't know how well that would happen, because we tend to let the rules be guidelines, and
guidelines.
So at that level, we're not as likely as the DMs to be like, you couldn't even walk through town without slipping and falling and cracking your head open and dying.
Man.
So like, even if rolls were really bad, like there'd probably be some way to not have that happen.
True. There should be.
But
well, I
what else have we got going on?
A couple other things of note that were out there that I thought were really neat is Paizo's teaming up with Digital Extremes, and they are going to do right.
Yeah, you go down this.
Warframe times Starfinder. It's Operation Arias, and it's going to be a tabletop adaptation of the hit video game of the same name, due out in October. And that's
this year.
Yeah,
Paizo.
That's Paizo putting their name on an entirely new property, going with that Starfinder name from video games.
Yeah.
I think that's
Starfinder, Paizo had Pathfinder and Starfinder.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
So that's been theirs for forever.
And it's the Warframe application that's going to be really cool.
Yes.
Going to be a neat adaptation. I imagine it is going to be on the math heavy side, which is totally cool. I'm down with that. If you can carry the source book under one arm, I'm good with you.
You can.
Yes, I'm sure.
I have first edition though.
Oh yeah.
I do not have second edition Pathfinder.
So yeah, they previewed it as one of the things that they previewed at Gen Con 25 that we just did not see. And I'm sure there were thousands of things that were announced, but that's kind of big news as well. I like the idea of grabbing these video game properties, pulling them in with known frameworks for games, and applying those worlds to TTRPGs. I love the fact that we're kind of going back around.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads into my next and my last news story is out of London, where they have had a bit of a resurgence in RPGs, role-playing games, and it being sort of a cultural glue and static point for young people to get together on. And a lot of people there are kind of attributing this to a need there to get back to in-person socializing.
Yeah.
There's also something going on with a big percentage of the younger generation, not only there, but especially in London, that are just not tuned into the alcohol scene. So
yeah, that's becoming
a lot
frequent.
of pubs are opening up nights for TTRPGs, like a Monday D&D night, Saturday Shadowrun thing. But one of them has, garnered a lot of attention lately as I absolutely tear down the studio. The Arcanist Tavern in Shireford, sorry. I keep on messing all of this up, has really done a great job of this. And they've gone full ham with the TTRPG themed pub, to where your bar is now the alchemy spot, and you get the lore themed drinks and the lore themed food, but they've gone a step further, and then they've got an entire game room that's got gridded tables on it. So if you're in there and you're actually playing your 3.5 and your squares and your spaces, they have all of that there. And they went a second level, I thought, that was very, very cool. And you can, for £15, go in and get character sheet handed to you, 4-hour game.
Very cool.
Nice.
They curate, and it's right there. It's on demand. You walk in and they'll send you to a room. Another thing you can do is they've got little cubbies set up that are sound dampened, and they come with a built-in dice roller app already right there at the table.
Oh,
so you can go in, just run a real quick thing, and they've just gone all in on it. They have over 300 regulars that are there all the time.
I want to go there.
Right?
Their food and their beverage sales are up, and it's really becoming a thing that is getting duplicated across the city there, because you have young people that are actually getting together in a place again that's not about, let's have a whole bunch of drinks or the club scene. Right. And I'm sure that that's all thriving there, but you're finding a place where people are actually getting out of their apartments, going and meeting back up again. And it's almost this post-COVID rubber band of people need this.
Yeah.
And they're finding this social level of connection there that they did not have over the, VTT and online options. So I thought that was very cool.
That really goes to what we were saying, I think, in some of our really early episodes, just about the benefits of TTRPGs. That
good way to socialize.
And we weren't, I don't know how much we really dug into it, but there is a difference between a tabletop RPG and an RPG. And a big part of that is, gathering with people at the table. And not to say that people can't do it virtually. They do. And they make, get wonderful games and wonderful groups and make great friendships. But there is this extra aspect of the benefits when
being at the table.
You're sitting at the table with people.
So let me go a little bit further. What they do at Arcanis Tavern, and that's in Shoreditch. Excuse me, I said something about a shire. That was
okay, that didn't sound like an area of London that I'm familiar with.
Shireford? Fuck yeah, that sounds right.
Shoreditch, that
I was like, there's got to be 8 fucking Shirefords. Anyway.
There is actually a Shoreditch. Okay.
They have a persistent, growing world that's always on at the tavern. You walk in as an adventurer. They've got posted.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
And you are growing their world as you're playing.
That is amazing.
So if somebody's like, hey, bronze dragon spotted, whatever it is, you walk in with your group of people, pull that off of and then you go, and they've got their own world. I forget the name of it. I could look at it's Eternum is their world. Eternum, okay. And it is constantly evolving with this lore that is, think about all the times that we do this, where like you play the game, you add to the book, you play the game, you add to the story. That's what they're doing. So you literally walk in and there's jobs posted on the job board.
That is so cool.
A little bit of LARPing along with it.
Right.
A little bit of,
probably not entirely unless you wanted
fully,
it to be. But yeah, it does.
You have to go up to their bar.
It's kind of cool, yeah.
And then go to...
That is
I
really
love
cool.
that.
I do too.
Okay, that would actually, like, you guys know me. I'm not a drinker.
Right, but that would get me.
That would get me to go to a pub.
And it's kind of
I would spend all the time at that pub.
Right.
Just that you say that because that's one of their big things is that it is a zero pressure area for alcohol. You don't need to feel like you've got a drink in your hand. You're doing something there, and
that's fine.
Young people have really responded to that a lot.
So here's my question then. Pub, I get it. There's food. There's other drinks. Does running the pub that way hit revenue, or do they have other income sources based on the providing of the TTRPG setting?
Yeah, so you're getting money for table rentals.
You're renting the tables. Okay, that's
£18 for 3 people, £7 per person more, and I think that's going to get you a 3-hour sit at that table in space.
And that I totally agree with that. You're using a commercial space, so if you're not going to be,
and that's what
drinking and being a customer in that way.
The other part of it is that people that want to play don't have room to host.
Right.
Yep.
You're in the city. You've got a flat. You've got small space in most of those areas. You're trying to get 5, 6, 7 people together. Having a spot is a big thing.
Yeah.
And they are ultra out front inclusive. Owners are a queer couple that are just saying, hey, safe space right here, however you want to run in a safe environment. It's really kind of what I look for when we talk about our mission with this podcast and our company and about getting people to the table. I love non-traditional gaming spaces.
Right, because it just brings more people to the table.
You talk about the marriage of two different things, the pub culture and the gaming culture, or the romanticy novel fan in the gaming culture. I just think that you can intersect in those places very well.
Be one of us.
And I like it. They've got 15 custom 6-foot thematic gaming tables.
That's
so
badass.
Cool.
They run Learn to Play D&D nights every week.
I love
so
that.
You can walk in and not know a damn thing.
Yeah.
You can just have your dice bag and a really bright-eyed look on your face, and they will fuck with you. But a lot of people are dipping into it now. They haven't gone over to the full conversion that the Arcanis Tavern has, but they're going to do that Monday night thing. They're going to do, and they recognize that it's a need that they're tapping into. So that's all the news that I found on it. But yeah, if we want to go to lunch in London,
have a place to go.
London.
How many people you got in Shoreditch, Jess? Who you know over in Shoreditch?
Well, no one right now.
I was going to say, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, that was my news.
Great. Thanks for sharing. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, Tori will lead us off. We'll talk to you later.
When you sit down at the table, open the books, and spill out the dice, you're looking for an epic adventure. Tabletop role-playing is more popular than ever, and every day new players join our great hobby. My name is Steve Kellums, and I'm the host of the Epic Adventure Podcast. I'm just a fan with a radio voice, but joining me on this quest will be Mike Howlett, the co-founder of Oddfish Games, a great independent game company, and Christina Stiso, a PhD student studying game-based learning. Together, we will discuss all things tabletop gaming, from character creation to world building to setting and pacing. We will give you tips and tricks to make your games, well, epic. Like and subscribe to the Epic Adventure Podcast today.
Hey guys, welcome back to the table with Finding a Tori after our break. We had just had some fun discussion of some news that's going on in the TTRPG world. And now we are with Tori, who is going to be talking to us about the style of different games. Tell me what you're talking about there.
Okay, so like the play style of the games, like there's tactical, there's storytelling, which is more the narrative based, right?
Right.
There's collaborative. You know exactly what that is.
So the style in which the game is actually played by the players.
Right.
Okay, got it.
It's the play style.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, and there's a bunch of different types, and it was because OSR kept getting thrown around, and I didn't know what it meant.
Yes. Well,
So
okay. I was just going to
it.
say, I've heard you say this a couple of times, not on the show yet, but OSR.
Old school Renaissance.
Old school Renaissance, a bringing back of old school rules.
No.
So talk.
It is more about the player's decision making.
Okay. In what
it's
ways?
Variable player agency.
Okay.
Choose your own adventure on steroids, OSR.
Okay.
So they carve the path through the world.
Sure.
Manipulating the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like, there's a lot of games that are that, but it's more like a sandbox.
Right. Here is where you are. Here's your setting, and you can interact with anything in this world, this defined space.
And so is this that certain games fall into one of these categories, or that you can apply these categories to games?
Categories to games.
Okay, so I'm playing Daggerheart, and I can play it in this style.
Well, the games themselves.
The games have them.
The
Yeah.
games have themselves.
Okay, yeah. The games,
so you.
Yeah. Okay.
You could adopt it, but it would be
right.
Sure.
once again, it's homebrew.
Right.
Everybody homebrew.
Yeah. So Daggerheart is a collaborative, narrative, story based.
Daggerheart is collaborative.
Right.
So they have like classic, which was the one that was in the 70s and 80s.
Okay. So early Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it
Chainmail.
was all about giving balance. Everything was super balanced. That was the thing, is that all the encounters were balanced. It ran you down a path. And on classic, tunnels and trolls, apparently.
Tunnels and trolls.
Yeah. It was
just a ton of tunnels and trolls.
I don't know. That was
like shoot. It's shoots and ladders.
No, that was it.
It's
I think it ran next to D&D, or maybe a little bit before, or somewhere in there.
But it was to the concept that these were, here's a map. You're uncovering the map as you go. You're in a tunnel. There's a troll.
Yeah.
It was.
What do you do?
Right. It was kind of less than open world, and the tunnel only went one way.
Right.
So you were going to run into the troll.
Yes.
Classically.
Railroad.
Yep.
As opposed
Railroad.
to Sandbox, which you were discussing before, which is, hey, go look at this awesome world I built you.
Okay.
So do we want to dive in? Is that what you're doing? Is you're taking us on a tour here of what they are?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm intrigued to see how many of these are familiar. So what's next?
Can I stop trying to come up with funny things that OSR stands for? Because ever since we start, I'm like on octopus, samurai something, and it's just, all right, I relieve myself of that.
While we're talking about OSR again, I guess I don't understand the connection between the name and what it is.
Well, cool. Okay, because I didn't say this part. OSR was a reaction to 3rd edition.
Okay. So people didn't like 3rd edition D&D, and they wanted to play in the style of what? 1st edition, 2nd edition?
They flipped it away from there. But 4th was the shift. Yeah.
OSR.
To OSR. It was a reaction.
Okay.
OSR was a reaction to 3rd edition.
Okay.
So the people who didn't like 3rd decided to do this.
Third being a very map oriented. You're in a tunnel with trolls.
Once again,
does that help at all? Because then they're going to flip, and it's flipping from I'm railroading you through the tunnel to here's your open world setting.
Okay.
So,
and OSR again stands for
Old School Renaissance.
You're right. That has absolutely no correlation with what the hell it is.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like this just reminds me of the first Assassin's Creed game that's in Renaissance Italy.
Okay, the traditional.
What is traditional?
Traditional is a narrative thing. And the DM is, okay, well, the classic, the GM's the ref.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's, very early editions of the game.
The GM's the storyteller in traditional.
Okay, sure.
Like, this leans heavy on the GM.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Your lore keeper.
Dragonlance.
Yep. Because it's so narrative to put you in certain places.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is, yes.
So I run my D&D table as more of a traditional style then.
Right.
I kind of, basically I'm telling them a story and they do have some choice in it, but
it's not completely Tunnels and Trolls.
No, it's not. They do have, I will adapt to whatever they choose. It is kind of a choose your own adventure story, but it is, I'm telling a story.
Right. And you don't say, okay, you wake up another day and blah, blah, blah. What do you do in the city? Or, you know what I mean?
No, like I kind of skip all that. They found it kind of boring, the like travel aspects. I'm just like, all right, so you're now here. And we've skipped like 4 days of travel because
1, 2, skip a few.
Yeah,
Right.
they didn't find that very interesting and we had limited time. I'm like, all right, let's just skip that. So it turned into like, I tried to start it as like how you ran our first module when you were teaching me how to play Arcadia, but just the limited time we had, their interests meant that I ended up ditching a lot of that and kind of turning it into a traditional storytelling kind of deal.
Yep, very much so.
What my table liked. So that's what we got. And also I'm just a storyteller by nature. So
so it suits.
Anyway, back to Tori.
Okay, we're going to go to story style.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's the one I do. I don't know.
We will find out.
Here's the funny part. Hold on.
What
do you think? What games do you think falls under this?
Story style?
Story style.
VTM.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's the GM called? The storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
In VTM, they're the storyteller. Yep.
You're the storyteller. In any of the apocalypse.
Yep.
Yeah. So
powered by the apocalypse story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So and Forged in the Dark, Blades in the Dark.
Mm-hmm.
But
Story
definitely
based,
VTM.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
So what else we got?
Modern.
Okay.
D&D.
But D&D in what way?
I think they're talking 5th ed, or it was current edition at that point. So it might be 5.5. Oops, I said it. 5.5.
Okay, so explain that to me. If you were to explain how that's different than traditional.
Well, it leans, you have the story, or the GM telling a story, but you still inform the world.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more collaborative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it also grabs stuff from the tactical ones.
Okay.
If you think about it, like it is, but it is less about rules as written.
Mm-hmm.
It's the homebrew homies. Story is much more important.
Right.
Right.
So it's neo-traditional.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that, honestly. What else we got?
Tactical.
Yep. So give me an example.
4th edition.
Right.
I didn't play much 4th edition. I don't know.
4th edition. Like everything is mean.
They poured a lot of what I consider to be diluted war game mechanics back into the game, and the range and the angle and the flank and the things there. Yes? No?
Diluted?
Yeah.
Diluted.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I heard diluted, like they're diluting themselves, like they're fooling themselves. Kind of.
They were watering it down, not fooling themselves.
I got it now. Thank you.
In another
Wrong
example,
spelling in my head. Okay.
So fourth edition.
I refuse to defend myself.
So you know what's funny for me when we talk about the comparisons of style different across different versions of Dungeons and Dragons. Mm-hmm. My problem is I might have adopted new mechanics and things like that, but I always just sort of play it the same. And so and that's just our homebrewing stuff, And so
some things are better than others.
I'm like, so I really feel like the different editions of D&D didn't change style for me. I played it in the style I've always played.
Another tactical, and this is no joke, Pathfinder.
Oh, yeah. That I can see. Yeah.
Math. Beacon, 13th Age, and Lancer were another couple that they talked about.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But Pathfinder, I can absolutely... Pathfinder and 4th Ed. Mm-hmm. Because Pathfinder is 3.75.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Then they have GM lists, which came up, and I was like, really?
Oh, yeah. I have seen this a little bit.
They have GM lists.
You're out of a job, Malcolm.
No, he's not. Please.
Retire undefeated.
What would you use? What is used?
There's apparently a
the GM?
mythic GM emulator.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. Do you think Radiance could be used that way?
I betcha.
For a GM list? I mean, I know it can be used as a solo game.
Yeah.
But
where it takes the place of the GM. And you can...
Yep.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
So apparently the ones on that one are like Star Trek, Iron Sword, Starforged, Alone in Deepfall, Break. I think. I can't read my own writing. Deepfall, Breach.
Right.
Yeah, I think.
So are there more, or is that
creative writing? Apparently,
creative writing.
And that's going to be your literary RPGs.
And it's also like they want you to keep a journal,
right, of what the story is.
Apostolic, like letters, and like you literally build a book. I mean,
yeah, oh, that's really cool.
Game. So, and I think Colosso, there's Dead Air.
Yeah.
For small creatures such as
games we have yet to play.
And then did I talk about the collaboration?
We touched on it, but we didn't dive into it a ton.
Sure.
Daggerheart is absolutely
also Savage Worlds.
Right.
So, and D&D can be in there sometimes. It like seriously, D&D is like, yeah, I fit this. Yeah, I fit this.
That's sort of what we always come back to.
It depends on how you want to lead that. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Daggerheart, Savage Worlds, Fabula Ultima.
Oh, sure.
Dragonim, which apparently is neo-traditional as well. And I think that's all I got.
Very cool. Very cool.
The literary one is like
creative writing.
So how does that work? Like,
well, it's still, you're still playing, but you're tracking everything. You are writing everything down, and that might be part of the, like, you have to write a letter to somebody, and then you keep that, and you have all this, and it tells you the story eventually.
Yeah, because like I read this book ages ago. That's like, it was two different authors who basically wrote to each other in character and like built a whole A, world, and B, like plot where it wove together, and the two like each were solving half of it, and one of them would write to the other and say, oh hey, my character did this thing, and then the other would be like, oh well, that actually solves my problem, and then I do this thing. It's like, oh hey, that solves my problem. And so like it worked together to solve the overall problem. And like it was really very interesting read, but like it was a book. It wasn't one of these. It wasn't a game, but like the writers started as kind of like a letter game.
But I think that's sort of the idea. Yeah, I think that's
is that you have this, and notes are great and all. You can go back to notes, but you know that some D&D notes are just like crap scribbled on a paper,
right? Half like the time we go back 2 weeks later, and I'm like, that was supposed to mean something.
If you don't stop looking at my notes.
My D&D notes are very good.
I know. You are the note taker, dude. You are the note taker. I appreciate that because we could be like, Jess, what happened?
Well, dude, that's part of my pregame ritual. Everybody's getting snacks and shit. I'm like, Jess, get over here.
Tell me what happened.
Yes.
Where the hell were we?
Our GM looks at my notes to see what we're going to do this time.
And then you do the, oh, right. Okay, I remember that.
So Jess practices the creative writing style at our table.
I can't wait till you start slipping some shit in the notes. Like, Jess's character comes across a... Wait a minute.
Jess's character, Ash, finds a dragon egg that is now hers. And yes, we will now have a bard dragon rider I think
you might need a second backup note taker to, watch for...
Be careful.
Ash finds...
We're all going to be fucking drink
200 rounds of gold.
How did I get a dragon?
Ash kills dungeon master, takes over world.
She does have plus 17 persuasion. She convinces everybody that she was the GM all along. And no one knows any different because she erased their memory.
Modify memory.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, don't fuck with Ash.
Yeah, modify memory. And I'm pretty sure I have like the mass modify memory too, so I can do everybody.
You can flashy thingy from Men in Black, dude.
Exactly.
So a new play style is the chaotic crazy of Finding a Toria.
Right on.
I mean,
That's what happens when you have me play a bard.
Right. All right. Well, thank you for bringing that to the table, Tori. I guess none of it was really surprising in its own.
No,
but
it all
yet
makes
not
sense.
things that I've ever really put together all as a whole and looked at. So thank you for sharing that with us, and especially having games that go with it that people can if they're interested, if they want to play a strategic style or if they want to play a
that was the thing.
creative style. You've got. Hopefully, you can go back and listen and see what kind of games you might be interested in checking out. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us at the table today. We are Finding a Toria, and you can find us on socials. And you can also go to our webpage, www.wordleafmedia.com/findingatoria. And if you're there and you'd like to support us because Malcolm needs his
Hit the
daily
button.
coffee, push the button.
Push the button.
Join us on Patreon.
Push the button.
You get to hear more of our chaos and less censored.
There'll be a treat.
Right.
There'll be a treat. And Flatsmith Zhuzh shall live on in memory.
That break in between the last two episodes was incredible. We'll spend some time editing that. All right, guys.
Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk with you next week.
Bye.
Bye.